I have a lot of coaches ask me about beating a tight waist. A lot of people are tight waisting off the whistle. So in essence, what I have to do, what I have to recognize when a guy tight waists me, and I'm a freestyle guy, so a lot of people understand what to do with a gut wrench. If Ross is going to gut wrench me, he's trying to control this hip, and that's exactly what a top guy's trying to do. He might be trying to chop this arm or get a wrist right here, inside bar, or get my wrist there, but really he's trying to capture this hip, control this hip. So if Ross is on this side and he's simply trying to tight waist chop me, okay, he's trying to control this hip. This hip needs to get underneath my chest, toward the hand. So my knee is coming basically toward the heel of my hand. As Ross gives me pressure, I can't base back. I got to knee slide that knee forward. Now all I'm going to do is, at the same time my knee's coming toward that hand, my elbow's coming back, take the weight off my hands. Again, you hear that over and over. I'm getting that weight off my hand. Okay? So you young guys don't get that wrist captured and able to get you tied up and they're stuck down there. So I got to go with the pressure. Ross is chopping me. I'm knee sliding this knee toward that hand, throwing that elbow back at the same time, over to my left hip. Now I'm going to come up over my knee again, push back, gets that hip out. Now I'm able to cut. Now I'm able to free myself. Here's another option for when a guy tight waists. Maybe you like Granby's or head post. People call it shrug, different parts of the country. So I've heard that term used, whether it's a head post or Granby series, or people call it mud move. But basically I call it a head post, and I can also incorporate that right into my people trying to chop me or into my knee slide. So we'll show that. So when a person's trying to tight waist me, I can knee slide toward that hand, get that weight off my hand, come over to my hip. Now, instead of coming up over my knee, basically what I'm going to do is I got this hand right here, okay? Instead of coming up over and going to my stand up, I can stay on the mat. And maybe you have some wrestlers that are good on the mat as far as rolling around. They have good hips. They're able to understand how to use their hips. And so I'll do a head post here. And the biggest thing is understanding that this guy's going to recover. The top guy's good. Got to understand this guy's good and he's worth the salt. I got to be able to have a counter toward it. So he's going to recover once I move. Number one, if I'm going to hit go into that Granby series, go into a head post series, I got to get this hand. And as I grab this hand, I'm going to pull Ross's hand up to my chest. Why? That frees my hips. Okay? He's going to stay down on that tight waist. He's going to stay down on that hip. So I got to pull that hand up as I break down on my elbow. Notice my elbow, my hand is outside my elbow. If I break down here, now Ross is able to drop that shoulder, tie that wrist up. Now, he can ride me more effectively. So as I go here, instead of going to the stand up, okay, there's another option here. I'm breaking down on my elbow. My hand's outside my elbow. I'm going to drop to my hip, kick this leg high as I pull the hand up, all in one motion, up to my head. Now, I drop to my side, got the wrist, finishing the crotch. Why? I see a lot of young wrestlers come around here. Now Ross elevates his hips, steps them over the top of me. Now I'm in trouble. So, I got to make sure that I finish properly, 2 hands back on that crotch. That way the guy can't get his hips and hop his hips over, okay? Once again, Ross goes to the tight waist. I'm going to that knee slide, get that weight off my hand, hip heist my hips to my far hip, pull the hand up, drop to my elbow. Notice I don't go to my hip, or I don't go to my shoulder. I want to stay off that shoulder. It's not a shoulder roll. Boom, I'm getting my hips up high as I pull the hand up to my chest and I'm going to go to my head. Here, if he's, for instance, got my wrist or inside my arm, I'm always taking my arm across my chest as I walk my hips away. Now I cut my hip underneath, hand to the crotch, hand to that leg, finish with a reversal.